Hey, welcome to Stories a Day. Happy Independence Day if you're here in the States. Um, it's not Independence Day today. It's, it's the first. I'm recording this on the first. But I wanted to do another little installment of Hokey Pokey, and I thought, I should do something for the fourth, but I really don't have anything to read. But then I thought, hold on, yeah, I do. I've got a bunch of poems that I started. I thought, isn't that funny? As soon as I say I'm not posting any poetry, I don't have any poetry. I really don't. But I got inspired in 2019. Um, 2019 looks like most of these were done. It's probably right before the big purge on YouTube. Um, Not that I was part of that, but it was a really dark time. At least, for yours truly. But so let's back up. I knew that we would be facing a summer like this one, and I was excited about it. I have a lot of hope. I think great things are coming. And, I started thinking about just my own personal memories and all the reasons that I personally love being an American and memories I have that are particularly American. I thought, I want to write some, American poems. So I had this little folder called American Summer. I'd forgotten all about it. But I've got some poems in here. So let me share this one. This is called Bay Bridge Doppelganger. The Bay Bridge Doppelganger. He would always just suddenly appear, passing by just once a year, my unmet summertime friend, long expected but always a surprise, his visage captured only by chance, among a strobed series of similar expressions, shirtless, tan, framed by bright cargo, by boogie boards and scuba flippers, bright strapped beach chairs, inflatable rafts and inner tubes, encumbered by backseat siblings, by the window panting family dog, beneath a roof rack piled high with luggage, and a nested nuclear family of bicycles gazing out at nothing, remembering everything. More parts sand crab now than little boy, some new creature coughed up by the sea, born of midnight dune breeze and briny beach break, of high noon riptides in boardwalk caverns, darkened features sandblasted smooth, hair sun bleached, salt shrunken bright white corded friendship bracelet, eyes meeting mine for just a moment, just long enough for me to see the very me that I soon too would be. Mine too soon that tan, too soon those eyes, too soon that envy. Burning hard from the car window like twin flamethrowers pointed at all that blessed, still pale, eastbound humanity. Hope you enjoyed that one. It's the kid you see every year. I hope you got it. I hate to say hang a sign on art, but I don't think I'm a very good poet. So sometimes I'll do that. I'll hang a sign on it. And for people who maybe aren't from here, don't get that kind of ritual. The beach week ritual in the summertime, and catching the gaze of some kid who's in many ways just like you, and but is on his or her way home from the beach, and you're on your way there, and there's that meta moment. At least if you have empathic tendencies, there's a meta moment where you're locked and you're seeing the world through them, and you're screaming at yourself to remember to stay awake for every minute of this, because in about a week you're going to be that kid, and you want to remember all that. Let's see. This one's appropriate because it's about 6 million degrees right now on the East Coast. I've been running around like a chicken with his head cut off. I remind myself, I told my wife, I remind myself of those old clips on Benny Hill, the high speed clips. Um, running my container tomatoes around from spot to spot in the yard. Um, so far so good. Everything's surviving the heat. This one's called Heat, April 3rd, 19. Yeah. It was not the heat of a fresh loaf of bread, not the heat of a bathtub cooling, reclaiming its porcelain chill, not the heat of a napping kitty stoking a tiny furnace in the middle of your chest. No, this was the heat of all summer in a day, the heat that pours down like lava from the third eye of Ra. It was the kind of heat that you can hear in the hum of a convenience store ice machine fan. The kind of heat you can smell rising off city pavement in waves of dumpster juice, cabbage urine, of swimming pool heat, all copper tone and chlorine blue, Section 8 ice cream truck jingle bell heat. You can feel heat rising through the soles of your sneakers. High noon, mid-July, car handle heat, aluminum jungle gym slide, thigh burning car seat heat. Let me see. I had one other one. Huh. Yeah, this is a memory of early childhood. It's in the 70s. Seems like all the time in the summertime I would go with my parents into DC. The Marine Corps band would play shows on the Capitol steps. And they would, all the adults would just let the kids all run free. We would play on the steps and leap off of the walls and tumble into the grass. And those were just wonderful nights. 4th of July also. There was a period, again, back in the 70s, you could drive up onto the mall right by the monument, even kind of sit on the hood of your car for the fireworks. And of course, later, when they brought the Beach Boys in, that was phenomenal. And I was, 13, 14 years old when they started doing that. And I was 18 by the time they were rocking, Rock Against Reagan down there in next to the reflecting pool. And I remember in 1984, I think it was, me and some pals from school. So we would go down there with a huge cooler full of, homemade wine coolers and beer. Camp out for the whole day. We go down at 7, 8 in the morning, drop acid and make a day of it, And those were incredible memories. Oh, and we were dressed as the Fife and Drum Corps, or a few of us were, as we all marched across. And they had a little flute that they were blowing. Yeah, it was funny. We didn't have the drums. But on hot June nights, we packed the car, some blankets, and nylon-strapped aluminum lawn chairs, with a picnic cooler and a bottle of bug spray, and we drove across Memorial Bridge to spread out on the lawn outside the Capitol building, beside those wonderful giant stone staircases that you could leap from like Superman onto the loamy turf, with all the other somersaulting kids playing red light, green light among fireflies lifting through the dusk to choreographed marches, played by dressed blue Marines on brass that still smoldered with the golden orange of the American sunset.